Good morning, beautiful people. I hope today finds you in fine fettle. Here we are at the beginning of September, so I'm going to show you the garden as it is today, which is, I think, the 4th of September, but you'll see it in a couple of days. As mentioned in the previous couple of videos, there's a lot to do. Oh my goodness. So as we go around, I'm just going to explain some of the jobs that will get done over the next few days, couple of weeks. We had rain yesterday. Apparently, it wasn't forecast. I just saw Mark actually, because I've turned up, the garden is damp. So when did it rain? It must have been in the night. Apparently it was yesterday afternoon. I'm completely oblivious. That doesn't make sense because I was here in the afternoon strimming. Maybe it was the late afternoon. Well, anyway, we had rain. And what's lovely today, and it's one of the smells I've missed this summer, is that gorgeous, rich smell of damp earth. It's really lovely. Yes, I've definitely missed it. You know, like I was saying yesterday, I've missed the smell of fresh cut grass. Even though I'm not a huge fan of that smell, I have missed it. So it's gorgeous to turn up today and smell that freshness. And what's great is that slight dampness should make some of my jobs easier. Some of the jobs I had planned for today, which you'll see in a video another day, things like lavender harvesting. This isn't great. So it's the morning now. I'll do all sorts of work today, see how the day goes in terms of warmth, breeze, what have you, for getting that worst moisture off the lavender, and then hopefully late this afternoon, early evening, I can do that harvest too. But never mind all that. Let's go and just to say as well, very quickly, 1 month ago, just 1 month ago, at the beginning of August, when I did the tour, I was saying the garden still looks about 2 weeks behind where it would normally be at this time of year. Today, it looks 4 weeks ahead of where it would normally be. So I've gone from the beginning of August, when it looked like the July garden, to today, the beginning of September, and it looks like the beginning of the October garden. What a bonkers year. But there's loads to celebrate. So come on, let's have a little walk down the garden path and see how the garden is doing at the beginning of September. As a heads up, there is building work going on all around, so we've got some noise. But here we are at the top of the garden at the beginning of September. The lovely cosmos still putting on a nice show. I have been deadheading to keep them going, but I think now I'm going to stop deadheading because I actually want to save some seed. But yeah, they're always such a happy sight, aren't they? Always happy to have some on the end. This clump of verbena that were self-seeded, that were in Gary's plot, they've settled in perfectly well. That's coming up in my path. This is my path. This is a load of poached egg seedlings, I think. Oh, and this is some self-seeded, I don't think you can make that out, that's self-seeded dill. I had a little bit of dill here last year. It bolts straight away, but I'm perfectly happy to have those there. Right, let's get on with the veggies. So, just got the covers off. Let me move my shadow. I've got the covers off here for now because I need to build a much bigger frame now because they're bursting out. But these gorgeous kale, isn't that? Oh, what a gorgeous sight. Isn't it? It's such a beautiful veg. Love it. It's like little prehistoric forest in here. And the collies behind, all looking great. No sign of any curds yet. But like I was saying the other day, even if I don't get a decent curd, these leaves will be gorgeous to scoff, and I'll just treat them like cabbage. Oh, and remember way back a few weeks ago, this little kale looked dead as a dodo, but I was certain there was a little sign of life in there. It had been nibbled, and look how it's come back. So you know what, if you've got a plant in and it's not in the way and it's had some damage, but there's still a tiny bit of life in it, just leave it, because it may well come back. Fabuloso. Okay, I'm not going to call it the disaster this year, but as you saw, the angle grinder's doing my nut. Shut up! This is the Coco de Pampol bed. This I'm filming today 2 days after I filmed the video all about Coco de Pampol, and look, in 2 days, even with rain, it's died off even more. Never mind. As also mentioning in that video, so the being archer, so we've got Gigantes on the right, Coco Sophie on the left. The Coco Sophie didn't come to anything this year. Excuse me. Last year they were right to the top of the arches, prolific, absolutely prolific. I think there was about 2 hours one day alone of just picking them. So that's another never mind this year. The main thing is, with all these beans that I love so much, there's enough for seed saving and a few morsels to eat. Put it this way, I shan't starve. Oh, I'm excited to show you this. I think we'll have to come around this way for access. The Paprika Peppers. There's actually a squash growing through them now. But look, they are ripening. Isn't that a beautiful colour? Oh, love it. In various stages of ripening. This is a gorgeous one. Oh yeah, beautiful. But they're all getting there. I've actually got more fruit on them this year than ever. In previous years, I've had maybe 1 or 2 fruits. But this year in this patch, they've all got at least 2 fruits. Some have 3 or 4. I reckon in the next week or so, I can start picking my first ones. Oh, and do you know what? I might have 1 or 2 when I try Richard and Paul's roasted tomato sauce. I might add some of these as well. And the squash, they're everywhere. So down here is the extreme end. Well, not quite the extreme end, but it's one of the cream of the crop. Beautiful little squash. But it actually goes, I don't know if I can pick it out in here for you. It goes right into the climbing bean frame. You see, little babies still trying to happen. So we go from there all the way through here, all the way to the mama plants. Then it comes all the way across here, up this teepee, all the way up to the top, then down the other side. And there's another fruit hanging there. And also in this bed, what's not supposed to be here, as you'll all have seen by now in previous videos, is the gorgeous, the splendid, the perfect, oh, you can get off, it's the Rouge Vif de Tombe. Oh, I can't, hang on a sec, crinkly leaves, yeah, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This bed, oh sorry, I know that's really crinkly with the leaves against the camera. This bed, as we go into October, and all the, oh, I've just spotted another, that's the cream of the crop I was just showing you. Just spotted, that's another big one, trying to disguise itself as a paprika pepper. Yes, oh, and there's another one. Oh my goodness, yay, oh, and another little tiny baby in there. Yeah, this bed, as we go into October and all the squash start to shed their leaves, oh, I love that moment, because that's when all the squash are revealed, any that haven't been spotted through the growing season. Look, the delicata is putting on new flowers. Oh, aren't they beautiful? Gorgeous. And down here, now they're starting to look like delicatas with their stripes. I think that's my only 2 fruits. I had a couple more babies starting, but they fell off. never mind. Oh, and on the end of this row, this is the yellow scallop that didn't do anything for ages, and now finally, oh, finally, Esther, there's one. And then, where did I see, oh yeah, there's a couple of biggies in here. Lovely. There's actually 3 in there, but I can't get them all in shot. So the thing about the yellow scallop is you can either that's not a yellow scallop, that's a cream of the crop. Cream of the crop are prolific. Yeah, with the yellow scallop, you can either treat it as a summer squash, so just like you would courgettes and the like, or apparently if you leave them and leave them and leave them, their skins will toughen and harden up, rather like a winter squash, and then they will store like a winter squash. So I will experiment with storing and let you all know. These are the rather meagre butternuts. There are a few fruits in here, they're quite small. That's okay, I quite like it when I get small fruits. It gives more options when I come to cooking. When you see the last squash bed at the end of this video, you'll see I do have some much better Waltham butternuts. So this is the Jack B. Little, and if you remember a couple of weeks ago I introduced you to Virginia and Vita. There they are, getting lovely and orange. They have now been joined by, oh, up here we've got right into the sun, that's Vanessa and Dora. And this is another one that's been prolific. There's another little baby coming, but around here, sorry, this is definitely wobble cam today, isn't it? Virginia, Vita, Vanessa and Dora have now been joined by Duncan and Leonard. Woohoo! Oh, and here comes Mr. Adrian Bell. There. And a tiny weeny little baby on the end there. Now we are due, according to the weather forecasters, we're due to have quite a warm and sunny September. So all of these little extra babies, it may just be that they come to, oops, I'm getting tangled in the bush next door. They may actually come to something, which would be lovely. But there is a nice little selection of squash in here, all said and done. Just to say, next to the delicata, I'd got 2 loofahs. They were coming to nothing, so I took them out. There's no point of them being in there robbing nutrients if they're not coming to anything. That's the dead cocoa bed, as I showed the other day. A couple of random tomatoes in here producing. Yay! Okay, let's move on to bed number 2. Main crop potatoes. Obviously nothing, right, I'm just going to see, what's the sun doing today? Nothing going on with these. These will come out in about a month. So I will lift and store this lot, and in their place will go the garlic. The garden is never completed. But look in here, hopefully we can see because of the way the light is. Do you remember those very pathetic, scrappy looking purple sprouting broccoli I put in the other day? They're doing great. They're doing absolutely fine, thank you very much. So I've got 2 rows of purple sprouting in here. This, on this side, I've got the little scrappy ones that were the only ones I managed to salvage of my own sowings and prickings out. And then in this side, I've got the lovely little, you can't really see now, can you? The lovely little plug plants that Paul gave to me. And this is the bed, if you remember, I really heavily mulched it from the compost bin. Actually, let's see if I can get you down here. You can have a look through the tunnel, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Sorry, it's always nigh on impossible with one hand. Can I get you in there? I can't see what you're seeing. There we go. So yeah, they're looking fine. They're growing. Woohoo! And of course, they're not a crop to harvest until, February at the earliest. Normally, this is a March and April food source. So great. Chuffed about that. The chard I'm still picking from. Oh, this fennel. This is measly, not doing anything. But what is there, I might just chop it up and have it in a salad. At the end of, this is where all the saladings had blown, they've gone. That's the perpetual spinach, that's doing fine still. Just a few beetroot left in here now. But it's all usable. I've just come to the opposite end of the bed I was showing you there. Oh, it's so noisy on site today, so many people around. Can't get a moment's peace. Chickpeas, they are going to be harvested in the next 2 days. A lot of them are still green, fine. I'm harvesting them now before they dry and then mice get them. Down this bed, this bed is... it's mostly rock and core. This is now mostly seed saving, but that later sowing, that's now producing, so I've got fresh beans again. And in the middle of it all, I don't know if you can make this out, this randomness is obviously a climber. I don't have any poles to put it on though. That was a mistake. I half wonder whether it's Trail of Tears, because the Trail of Tears seed looks exactly like rock and core. So yeah, it's a bit of a tangly mess in there. But if it produces, I don't care how it looks. Oh, calendula. I love my calendula. So I've had a few more harvests. Probably at this stage, I think I'll do one more harvest, 1 or 2. But then I'm now going to start letting this go to seed for next year. Parsnips are looking good and lush, but we'll not know until we get down in the dirt. But I shan't be doing that for a good couple of months yet. That's definitely a winter food. All the random tomatoes in this bed, they've been producing beautifully. Oh gosh, I've got more to pick today. This is an orange one. It's not going to ripen anymore. This one, oh look at those gorgeous glowing red orbs. Oh, there's orange in September. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right, that's that bed. Now, this is the pressing jobs to get on with. Onions I would normally lift at the end of July. I was ready to, they were ready. Heat wave happened, lost track of time. It's going to happen today. It's definitely going to happen today, and then I can get brassicas in. This tunnel I need to make larger, because you can see now, hopefully you can see, the Cavallonero. It's massive in there. Again, these were such scrappy little things, but they've picked up beautifully. And underneath, of course, a few of the carrots did emerge eventually. And actually on this side even more, because this was where there was a calendula shading them. Oh, it's hot. The sun's difficult today. So yep, happy with that. Happy. It just shows, doesn't it, even when you put the tiniest, scrappiest little plant in. Oh dear God, that noise today. Yeah, you put the tiniest, scrappiest little plant in, but it might just grow. It might just grow. And put it this way, if you don't put it in the soil, it ain't going to grow. So one of my kind of mantras is just pop it in and see what happens. And yeah, I'm going to have some lovely harvests of that. Actually, I'm going to start harvesting that very soon. Flint corn is looking lovely. I have checked and I have got cobs. And lots of lovely little cobs in there. It kind of stopped growing when it got to about 4.5 feet tall. And let me just show you this side. You can see, we've got battered by the wind. That's my path, can't see the path. Actually, you probably see better from this angle. You see it's all kind of come this way. But they're alive. They're doing their thing. I can see the tassels on the cobs are starting to brown up a bit. Yay! Oh, look at this. This is gorgeous. This is my celery. Isn't that beautiful? It's doing really well. When you consider how hot and dry we were and that this is basically a bog plant, I'm amazed, to be honest, that it survived. But it has, and it's hard to give you an idea of scale, but it's sort of, it's 1.5 feet tall. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Cut and come again. So I'll have plenty from this patch all winter and into next spring. Another dead Coco de Pan pole bird. And my pearly little fennel from my forcing. Oh, that one's had a nibble. Oh, for goodness sakes. Yeah, forget it. With these really, really little ones, all I'll do is I'm going to harvest them, chop them up, and have them teeny tiny in a salad. Oh, now this is a happy sight. Such a lovely colour. They start a sort of a dark green and start to go a little bit purple. These are still quite fleshy, and then eventually they will go, as I have done here, almost black. These are still a ways to go yet, but this is the Trail of Tears, and this is one for storing dried, so I can just ignore them, let them get. But it's lovely to have these little splashes of colour. Gorgeous. The helder plants, as I was saying the other day, I'm just leaving all the bean plants in because you never know, I might get one more flower. The borlotti, it's not going to be a huge harvest. Oh, but again, what a beautiful thing. How worth it to have these in the garden. Gorgeous. Oh, and now look. This is the tomatoes. This is the back end of the tomatoes, and these are all the biggies. So I've got Amish paste, Rose de Berne, and then the other side of the biggie row. Well, obviously I've got some more cherries here, but then I've got Gary's Gorgiosities, Get Stuffed. So these are all going to be picked. All the ripe ones are going to be coming off in the next couple of days for me to make some roasted tomato sauce. Oh, I can't wait. And on the front, the Gardener's Delight. Oh my goodness, I need to do another picking. Let me just stand back a second so you can see. Yeah, they're still coming. They're still coming. And, you know, you can see all the red ones. What you can't see is, look, all the greens. Masses of fruit still. So, you know, fingers crossed we don't get the B word. But it looks like I could have tomatoes through till October this year, which would be amazing. And then any that are left at the end and are green, I'll use for making curry. Not chutney. Don't like chutney. Oh, and this is, it's another of those lovely heritage courgettes that Mark and Monica have grown this year. Another spare one for me to scoff. Beautiful. Now, let me take you, hey Poppy, let me take you back this way because some of my paths have lost access where we're getting towards, oops, stumble, the squash beds. So just to back up, sorry, this was the ex-cucumber bed. Obviously I'm seed saving in here. I've got my peppers underneath, but this is squash, not cucumber. They've completely taken over. Come across here. Look at them. So I do now have quite a few of these gorgeous hidden gems. Oh, another little baby in there. I've just seen another little baby in there. So there's loads of babies, but what's great, you're not being able to see it. In there, there's another biggie. there's plenty of good big fruits that would serve sort of 4 to 6, and then plenty of this sort of size which will serve 1. It's great. Like I said, it's just gives me options when cooking. There's another one, quite a biggie. Still not sure what that one's. I think it's trying to be a Muscat de Provence, but it's not. You see there's another quite decent sized Waltham. And then there were a couple in here I saw the other day, a bit awkward to get to. But you can see, it's what I was saying the other day about not strimming and trimming at the moment on the edges here, because there's a lot going on. Where did I? So yeah, another tiddler, but then next door to it, another whopper. Yeah, that's a good size, that one. Again, that's the sort of size that would serve 4 to 6, which is lovely if I'm doing a big batch of something, or if I've got friends over. But I do like to have, breeze, the option of having some. That's another 4 to 6er. I do like the option of having the smaller ones, so I can just have half of one stuffed for myself. Now, here's the end of the bed. Here's the cold frame. The Walthams carry on. They're making a run for it towards the compost bins. Oh, now let me see if I can step over here, because this is something I keep forgetting to show you all. Whoopla! In the cold frame. Peppers. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Beautiful, 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 healthy peppers. So this was a bit of an experiment this year. It's worked really well. It has meant that I've had to keep watering, because obviously cold frame is shut up. If you remember, next to it I had a loofah. It was in that bag, now empty. It was doing nothing. Get rid of it. But yeah, I'm pleased with these. That's just the speckles on it. It's just from where I've been watering, but yeah, they're beautiful. It almost makes me wonder about doing all my peppers in the cold frame next year. Something to think about. Right. Which way shall we go? Can we go this way? No. That path is shut. Shall we go this way? That path is kind of shut. Let's try and find a way through. Whoopla! And then finally, mega spider's web. Sorry, spider. All that work and I've just crashed through it. The deck area. This was another planting of self-seeded verbena from Gary's plot. They've done really well. Some of them have gone over now. We're at that time of year where lots of things are going over, but they get left specifically for the seed heads, specifically for the wildlife. Goldfinches love these. The blueberry that I repotted looks perfectly happy. Geraniums, the petals flying everywhere. It's a bit windy today. I've been growing this all summer. I'm rather pleased with it. Oh, Poppy. Always there. I don't want to show you, Bum. Right. Brassicas, they're all going to go out today, hopefully, after the onions. The Dulong de Londe peppers have not done so well this year. I think it was a combination of, I don't think they worried about the heat, but the dryness. I just couldn't keep on top of the watering, even with daily watering. I mean, I've got one meagre one that's gone red. Yeah, I just couldn't keep them moist enough. These are actually a sweet pepper, not a chilli, despite how they look. Fortunately, I still have seed from last year, so that if these really don't come to anything, at least I'll have seed still. And then finally the herb bed, which is definitely going over. And if you imagine, excuse me, show you the lavender. I've got masses of lavender to harvest. Imagine once that's all harvested, it's going to look very different. The hyssop, the white hyssop and the purple hyssop, they've gone over. But again, seed heads for various birds. The French lavender, That will be getting harvested too. Obviously the plan is this autumn to have this rhubarb out, move it, and put a pond of some description in here. I'd massively cut back the feverfew the other day, but it's coming back to life. Isn't that a pretty little flower? Isn't that lovely? It's nice, and little pops of colour in terms of the cosmos, a little bit of borage. So I do enjoy the herb bed because there's generally colour, shape, form, something to enjoy in it for virtually all the year round. Now the thyme, this is a carpet of thyme. This hasn't flowered very much this year, but I did harvest quite a lot of it back in, I think it was April or May. Maybe I harvested too much. I don't know. It looks healthy. It'll be fine. So, yeah, there we have it. The garden at the beginning of autumn. Autumn colours, reds, yellows, oranges. It's fading. It's fading. But you know what? It might be fading, but it's feeding. And ultimately, that is all that matters. So, quite a lot of jobs to do. That's great. Can't wait to get stuck in. Priority, get these onions out before we have too much wet weather. I mean, look at this one. Never mind me getting them out. It's trying to chuck itself out. It's on its side. My goodness. And look, this is how dry it's been. Look, great big cracks. Yeah. So, there we have it. The garden at the beginning of September, the beginning of autumn. All things being equal, I am very, very happy with it. With it all. Walking backwards, especially these beautiful toms this year. Gorgeous, gorgeous red globes of loveliness. So, on that note, I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell, a happy cheerio. I'll see you again soon. Next time, for a bit of gardening.